Alright, just speaking off the cuff here, because, some things you just sort of think about, but you try to put into words the first time, but I think I can do a better job at it this time. Like, I'm wondering why so many games that, or at least that were in the game show, or explained to you, like, part of playing a game is not knowing what you're going to get into. And that's usually for better or for worse, right? Like, there can be games that look good, but are also very poo poo doo doo. Like, I'm thinking of, like, the older, like, early 2000s, where you couldn't really choose which games you can play because you were 12. So you got the first game that looked cool, like the box art on like the cover of the box looks cool, and you're like, I guess I'll play this. All right, this is how I got into like Time Shift or like Dark Void, hell, Gears of War. And you have franchises like Halo, which are just at the time were huge. Like, they've kept the consumer faith. So Halo at the time didn't even need to explain a damn thing to you. They just put Halo on the box and it's like, oh, Halo 2, gotta fucking buy that. Or Halo 3, I gotta fucking buy that. So I guess that's also why things need to be explained. Like, I'm fine with them showing the game, right? That's okay. What the fuck is this? I don't know. But if, well, I guess a lot of IPs that you grow up with are now become like a lot of like games you liked are now becoming franchises where they don't actually care to have fans anymore, which is why no one really will care for the next Assassin's Creed because they're trying to be a franchise that is pumped out every couple of years to normies. Same thing with Call of Duty. But there's also a lot of franchises that are just being smothered, like uh, Need for Speed. Like, EA is smothering Need for Speed. It's gonna die, in a dark, cold place. And I mean, will Need for Speed sell on the next iteration? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the same people or the same talent that worked on the older Need for Speed, like Most Wanted, are even around. I don't think EA or whatever studio they're utilize really has the capacity to make a good Need for Speed. Like, let's think of another racing game like Forza Motorsports. That's being touted because it's one of the biggest IPs that Microsoft Xbox has. Same thing with Call of Duty. So, and I looked at the Battlefield trailer and it just looked good. Like, granted, you don't really need to explain games like Battlefield. It's Faction 1 going after Faction 2. And you have destructible landscapes, vehicles you can ride in, and there you go. But I'm assuming like Pragmata is trying to be story driven, which is fine, but then they explain the story, the mechanics, how you deal with the enemies to you, and this was a game I legitimately was interested in, just not knowing a single fucking thing. I feel like if every game that you played in the early 2000s was autistically explained to you, like you're not a gamer, you're instead an investor, or part of the newest generation that needs things explained to them, will that game have the same impact? And I like to think no, right? like getting into like going into Gears of War 2 off of Gears of War 1, you're just left wondering. But the strength and the faith of the IP itself of Gears of War, like, would bring you through the game. But like I said, nowadays franchises don't invest into fans, you know, people that are effectively walking billboards and might tell one or two people. They want like this audience of consumers that will just buy whatever new game. I'm not saying Pragmata is one of those, but again, the way it was, you know, the way it was explained and why it was explained in the games show kind of makes you think that that's the case. Like, and I don't know what the stipulations of the game shows are, right? Because they do show legitimately good games with not a single line of dialogue, like Mortal Shell 2. And it just looks good. You don't know what the fuck's going on, but it looks like a good game. Like, but you have, again, a new franchise, a new IP, you know, something that has interesting mechanics, but would have been better if you were to experience it the first time yourself instead of have it like explained to you. Like, I'm really looking back at games that I enjoy, like some of the top 5 games that I've played and enjoyed, like, I don't know, 99 Nights, the first one. And I really thinking that if it was made today at a time where you have to explain everything, would it be a better game? Like, everything else being the same, right? And 99 Nights is literally just a Dynasty Warriors clone. But I think it's better because, what are we on, like the 16th Dynasty Warrior game? Like, I fell off after 9. But I'm really thinking if that game would have been better if it was just explained to me. Oh, no, my nose. Explained to me before it even released. And I'd like to say no. In fact, I'd be kind of fucking annoyed. It's like, okay, what I still think is a good game, yes. But having experienced the game yourself without people, without, some salesperson being like, oh, well, you can do this, you can use combos. And they autistically explain the fucking, I don't know, ult mechanic. And in 99 Nights is a very simplistic game. But even then, it would be annoyed. I'd be annoyed if they explained it. So I think that's kind of where we're headed. Like, are there going to be legitimately good games coming out? Yeah. But it's this false assumption that you have to explain the game. You have to explain mechanics. And I don't know, like, I still don't really know the story. That's one thing they've kept under wraps. But it's like, okay, you have to explain these things, otherwise the gamer's not going to like it. It's something that is just completely artificial, completely manufactured by, I guess, games journalists, right? Because you have to tell them how the mechanics are to make it easier for them to play the game. Otherwise, they'll pull another Cuphead where you can barely pass the damn tutorial because, let's be honest, they probably don't actually play games. Or maybe they're like, I wouldn't be surprised if you are part of that ilk, you have to play so many games at a time that you can't really revel in the game, which is probably why you play, because it's treated more like, a job. But whatever the case it may be, like, at the end of the day, your consumers is like, why do you make video games? Whereas for people to play the fucking game, right? And everything else is just a second, third order effect, right? Games journalists, a third order effect. You know, being part of the game show, a second order effect. The point of the game really is to just have people play the fucking game. So, I don't know, just something I had to get off my chest. Absolutely nothing of value, and I feel like so many other games are going to become, you know, it is going to be treated this way, like, oh, well, we have to explain everything, otherwise the gamer's too fucking stupid to understand, right? But anyway, that's all I gotta say about this. Peace.